Well, Third Laguna Hills Mutual met yesterday. It was a regularly scheduled meeting, their June meeting, and it ran about 2 hours and 47 minutes yesterday. And joining us today is the president of Third Laguna Hills Mutual, Mike Straziuso. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's terrific.
Nearly 3 hours yesterday, so it's nice that you got it around lunchtime.
Yes, it was very convenient. Our goal is still to keep it to 2 hours.
Right.
And we haven't accomplished that yet.
That's tough. You know, we've been here a long time. 2 hours would be nice, but the average is usually closer to 3 than 2. But it is difficult because it's a long day for the board, and it's a long day for the viewing audience as well. Because, you know, unless you're watching an entertainment or sporting event or a movie, it's difficult to get through a 3-hour meeting at times.
Keeping their attention is certainly, I keep using the expression, we're losing our audience. Let's move it along,
right,
and not get carried away,
right,
in these explanations.
Yeah. It's kind of like golf. It's the pace of play, right? So you guys, you know, kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Let's kind of just keep it moving along. So
you play golf.
Well, you call it. Yeah, I try and play a little bit of golf. I don't know if anybody's very good at it, but it's fun. Let's talk about some of your board member comments. I know that's something that takes up some time within the meetings.
Yes, yesterday we had a near full house. Mm-hmm. Strangely enough, it was one ethnic group, and the word spread through the ethnic group that Third Mutual Board intended to raise the monthly assessments for 2013 to $45.
I did hear that comment.
Oh, yes. However, their misunderstanding on 2 counts. One, they thought it was a budget meeting, and it was the board meeting where we reported what happened in the budget meeting. And had they gotten that update, I doubt that they would have all shown up as they did. The budget meeting, we eliminated on 3 line items a total of $22, okay? It was difficult to calm them down. They were very passionate and very articulate. It was terrific to see all of them, even though it was not the agenda that they had
hoped for, right?
Yes. There were others who got up and spoke. I think we put them in the category of regulars, our friend Art Harris and, of course, Corky Ely. Arthur also had the misconception that we were raising the fee by $45. And I hope, Arthur, that you've calmed down and I need to say, Arthur, my friend,
right.
He is the friendliest guy and the most passionate, and we're proud to have him to speak at our meetings.
And it's important, though, that the residents and especially the members of your mutual know that we are through, I believe, the first version of the budget for 2013 right now. So it's good that they're aware of it, but they need to get to the committee process where these things really get discussed and narrowed down.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because the second version is not necessary. When you say the first version, we have budget meetings by M&C and by landscape, and so we have separate budget meetings, and then we consolidate into the full budget. And we may have set a record. We got through the entire budget on the first try.
Wow, that would be a record.
So we've canceled version 2.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right. So then the next meeting will be, I guess, the finalization when the rest of the boards, Golden Rain Foundation and United Mutual meet. It's usually around the same time period.
Yes.
Very good.
September, I believe.
Right. Okay. Well, you have some board member response that you wanted to comment on as well, member comments.
Unfortunately, we've deviated from the norm, in my opinion. That's why I'm here to give you my opinion, right? When a board makes a decision, traditionally, all of the board members then support that decision. We can't seem to do that in our board. We have to give history lessons. We have to talk about other industries. We have to brag about when I was treasurer. And it's so unfortunate and misleading. We want to gather the support of the community for what we do and not divide the community. And we have some folks who've been on the board for several years who don't practice that concept. And I'm here to say we take a vote, and when the vote is complete, some people are on the winning side, some people are on the losing side. There was a time in 2010, I know there are those who may recognize me as the board member who got up and walked out of the meeting when the decision was made, voted on, properly brought up, properly voted on, to file a lawsuit. It is a decision that I could not support and felt my duty to resign from the board because I couldn't support that decision.
Right.
I didn't stand up and condemn them at the next meeting. I left the board. And I'm not calling for resignations. I am appealing to my fellow board members to either say nothing or support the decisions. The false information, was broadcast that the board is reducing reserves in order to lower the monthly assessment. Reducing reserves. I'm sorry. We reduced the contribution in 2013 to the emergency reserves. We reduced it. Let's see, the contribution was set at $1.8 million. Wow. But that's been normal, $25 per manor per month over the last several years. And we reduced it to $10 per manor per month. And from 1.8 million, we reduced it to $730,000. We didn't take anything from reserve. Our contribution is the equivalent of, let's see if this number is familiar, $50,000 per month reduction of the insurance, earthquake insurance, and put it in reserves. Well, $50,000 per month is $600,000. We only put $730,000 in. I think we accomplished that goal.
Right.
And yet, our board members were making it out like we were withdrawing money from our bank account.
Right.
We didn't withdraw any money from our bank account in our next iteration of the budget.
Right.
Okay.
Well, so those are some very difficult topics, obviously, to discuss and to, you know, obviously bring out to your members, but they're important ones.
They're important ones, and I'm here to say that we have a solid budget for next year.
Good.
Okay, one that is healthy for our community. We aren't going to suddenly have assessments. Our reserves are $20 million. we're well protected from having any assessments in the near future.
Very nice. Now, you've had a large audience for the last few meetings. How were you able to manage that in some way?
I don't think we had large audiences. No, no.
You want a large audience.
We keep saying, come to our committee meetings, come to our board meetings. It's your community, your money. Give us your voice and tell us what you want, which in turn, I'm always amazed when I'm talking with PCM employees, especially those in management positions. Mike, just tell us what you want. Hey, what a concept. You're our employees.
Right.
Okay. Actually, the proper term is you're our agent. Okay.
That's true. Well, you have a couple of things too as well, that the Third Mutual works in conjunction with the Golden Rain Foundation. And are there a couple of projects that the two of you are working on? Don Tibbetts talked, I believe, about one that they're working with the flood, the drainage, I believe. But are there other projects that the Third Mutual is working with?
Well, you bring up a good point. The flood, which happened in January and then a repeat in December of 2010. And we have a remediation project. GRF has one because of the runoff from the golf course, and they're making some changes to the golf course. But the consultant firm that we hired are recommending that we open the drain, which runs through United and Third Mutual. Third Mutual property is the low property at the end of that runoff. And that's being estimated at $1.2 million. Well, at $1.2 million, the water was contributed from 4 different corporations. Aliso Viejo Golf Course was the high point, and United, and GRF, and to a lesser degree, Third Mutual. Now, Third Mutual is appealing to the other corporations to participate in the $1.2 million remediation. And we aren't finding much resistance. We're getting a lot of silence from Aliso Viejo Golf Course, and we hope we don't have to take legal action.
Right.
We think when the others fall in line that we'll have a united front and everybody participate in it. But oh my, we have that $1.2 million, once again, got to build reserves.
Right.
And I'm leaving out parts, so you have to read between the lines.
Right. Well, if you want to read between the lines, be sure and watch the meeting that'll be airing tomorrow, and that's going to be at 2 o'clock, and then, of course, on the 27th at 6 o'clock. It did run about 247 minutes. Third Mutual does meet on the third Tuesday of each month, and that's at 9:30 in the morning. They are in the boardroom, so you can attend those meetings. We encourage you to, but if you can't make it over here to your community center, be sure and tune in to Channel 6. We do bring that to you live each Tuesday for these board meetings. So their next meeting, again, will be the third Tuesday of July. Well, thanks so much for joining us. You have a lot of things on your plate, so I know you have a busy day today.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
You bet. That's Mike Strazuso. He is the president of Third Laguna Hills Mutual, and like I said, they do meet on the third Tuesday of each month. We'll be back with more of the Channel 6 News Hour right after this.